I'm Lila of Nevillution. Today, I'll be giving a talk and guided meditation on the topic of becoming debt-free, using the power of the imagination and the subconscious mind, as well as divine healing energy, using my own voice and my own research and my own scripting. Neville says in Chapter 5 in his book, At Your Command, to dissolve a problem that now seems so real to you, all that you do is remove your attention from it. In spite of its seeming reality, turn from it in consciousness. Become indifferent and begin to feel yourself to be that which would be the solution of the problem. For instance, if you were imprisoned, no man would have to tell you that you should desire freedom. Freedom, or rather the desire of freedom, would be automatic. So why look behind the four walls of your prison bars? Take your attention from being imprisoned and begin to feel yourself to be free. Feel it to the point where it is natural. The very second you do so, those prison walls will dissolve. Apply the same principle to any problem. I have seen people who are in debt up to their ears apply this principle, and in the twinkling of an eye, debts that were mountainous were removed. The reason that states like debt linger for some people, they're still consciously tied to being in debt, thus prolonging it, and not able to outpicture the opposite. So this moment, just as Neville's teaching, you must realize you are already that which you want to be. You are already debt-free. Tune into that state. What would it feel like to be debt-free? Because if tomorrow in Caesar's world you found yourself to be completely debt-free, it would have a certain feeling. You would feel a certain sense of relief. But with the power of your imagination, you can feel that now. And as you practice, it will become easier. And especially the feeling of your wish fulfilled as you drift off to sleep. That feeling of being debt-free will become more natural and second nature and will outpicture. But you must continue on, even when the novelty wears off, even if the world tells you something different, even if you become distracted, you must carry on with this simple little practice. I've seen various modern-day testimonials where people have done this themselves, including in the Neville Goddard Reddit. Just 6 months ago, Eden's Green made a post, How I Manifested $36,000 USD of Debt Away, Success Story. Eden's Green had $36,000 in school debt. Eden's Green kept a calm mind, but they wanted this debt gone. And in Eden's Green words, what I ended up doing was putting all of it on autopay each month, the student loan debts. I was still paying it off, but I never had to look at it. And after I put it on autopay, I never checked it again. After I dealt within externally, I immediately went and would tell myself that I do not have debt anymore. I tell myself and a friend who knew I was just feeling it real, that someone else paid it off. I wasn't desperate and I was relaxed, and I just knew it was already paid off and gone. I would do this almost daily of just telling myself it was all paid off by someone else. And I would sometimes imagine checking for the last time and seeing a balance of 0, and feeling the reality and relief of genuinely experiencing, within imagination, being never able to have to deal with debt again. I used the senses, and I felt my hands hold my phone, and I felt a little bit happy and relieved that I no longer had to deal with it. I did this whenever it came up during the day, and I felt secure and stable that all my money was now all mine. I rarely checked my bank account as well. 3-ish months later, I ended up being invited out to a casual dinner where I learned that a loved one received a huge bonus at work and wanted to pay off my debt. I didn't even realize it was my own doing until the day after. Isn't that wonderful? Now, for those of you who may have trouble coming up with a scene to catch the feeling of your wish fulfilled, another user in the Neville Goddard Reddit, Imagination Out Loud, wrote, if you can't come up with a scene that implies you're free of debt, then you can try to get into the state akin to sleep, and then identify your desire and ask the question, how would it feel were my wish realized? As explained in Sleep, Chapter 2 of Feeling is the Secret, the response to that question will come a feeling, and if you stay with that thought and maintain it, you may even find some scenes spontaneously coming to mind that you would encounter if you were debt-free. If you want to visualize, you can, but you can also just feel the feelings and keep it going till you doze off. And this is a practice I would recommend everybody to do when you go to bed. Use that time wisely before you go to sleep. Don't let it be hijacked by the blue light of social media and all that it feeds you. You know what you want in life, what you burn for, and in that you know what you want. And you can play around and capture that feeling of the wish fulfilled and go to sleep. Invest wisely in your life, especially in the poignant times so it's efficient. Now back to what Imagination Out Loud wrote. Last year, I had some bills due, and I couldn't come up with a scene that implies it's done. So I went into the state akin to sleep and asked the question, how would I feel if my bills have been paid in full? And I kept going till I dozed off. I did that every night, and after a couple of days, I woke up with an inner knowing it was done, and I really believed it happened. After that, the desire left me, and even though I got some more reminders about those bills, I didn't feel any panic or anything because I knew it was done. A couple of weeks later, I received the money to pay the bills, and the funny thing was that I got the money about 2 weeks before the latest payment date, so I paid well before the due date. And this is a common thing I often hear when people actually put this into practice and persist, especially right before sleep. A certain confidence starts to grow that becomes unshakable. And many people have experienced, even while doing the imaginative good work. Sometimes things will happen which will remind you of the old state, but when you play around with it in that sweet subconscious spot right before bed, but when you consistently do this, it becomes unshakable regardless what's going on in the world. And now let us take several deep breaths, moving in and out like the ocean waves, or like the clouds passing across the sky, just letting the body and mind relax. In the words of Florence Scovel Shinn, repeat after me. I deny debt. There is no debt in divine mind. No man owes me anything. All is squared. I send forth love and forgiveness. And now I will serenade you. You deny debt. There is no debt. In divine mind, no man owes you anything. All is squared. And you send forth love and forgiveness. And love and forgiveness is sent right back to you. How does it all feel? How does it feel to be debt-free? What will you do now in your life that you're debt-free? What does a loved one of yours do in celebration of you being debt-free now? And now think of a divine light going into your brain, going into the grooves of habit, of the things that you think, feel, believe, or that you become intense about. And now think of this divine light, soothing your brain and any grooves of bad habit, wrong thinking, wasted investments. Let this divine light calm your emotions, wipe away all fear, anger, resentment. And in turn, wiping away all debts. And one day, all the debts are gone. Not long after doing this exercise, you will say, I am free of debt. I am so thankful. And now let us collapse the time and make it here and now. Imagine walking into that version of you that is already debt-free. Anything that is not in harmony with this is redeemed or dissolves back to its native nothingness. And now let the divine light that represents all kinds of opportunities, all kinds of money from all types of different sources, all kinds of abundance and wealth, all shower down upon you, every cell, every aspect of your consciousness. You are saturated with abundance and wealth. All debts are paid off. You are free. You are free from debt. Thank you.